Hello everybody, and good evening. It is February 3rd. It is Tuesday, and we are coming right up on 6:30 p.m. And Gus is here. I was hoping that I was going to have him, all of his little jitters out, but that did not happen, but that's okay. Glad that you're here. If this is your first time here, hello, welcome. I'm Anne Marie, which means I am the AM of the AM Bevel over here, and I'm a Stampinup demonstrator, and I hope that you take a minute to like this video and subscribe to me. I am live most Tuesdays here at 6:30 p.m. Central, and you can always catch it on the replay. You can find the videos over on my channels page, and if you click on the live tab, you'll see lots of live videos. Also feel free to follow me over on Instagram and Facebook. There are links in the comments below. So, welcome to February. And Gus, no, we don't need Gus. For those who don't know, Gus is my middle child cat who is attached to me and likes to sometimes, he doesn't really participate, he just likes to, he's a scientist and he's trying to test gravity out a lot by pushing things off. So we'll see how well that works for us this evening. So you can start to spend those bonus day coupons that you earned last month. You can start using those today. The last chance section was updated also this morning, which means there are products that are retiring and now discounted. And you can see his tail. Gus, get off. Come on. Come on. Off. 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 It's going to be a long video. I am so sorry. So last chance is updated, so make sure to go over and shop some deals, especially shop deals with your bonus coupons. And also there's a new product of the month that came out today, the Painted Illusions DSP. Ooh, isn't that fancy looking? Kind of a watercolor vibe, and it's like rainbow. I love the blue-green feathery looking one. I really am digging that. So just as a quick side note, I just ordered mine today. As a demonstrator, we do not have early access to the product of the month. We get access to it the same time our customers do. So I placed my qualifying order, which is $75, so I could get the DSP for $5. It was much too pretty to pass up, specifically that blue green, what is that? Pretty peacock and maybe granny apple green feathery. You know which one I'm saying. Feathery looking paper. So you can pick this up for $5 with a $75 order. There are the January and December products of the month are also still available, the last I checked, and I will be using the January product of the month, which is a stamp set, in the projects today. So, you know, choices, choices, choices. There is also a join special going on this month, as I make sure I get the right camera. Hello. It's the $99, but if you join this month, you will get the new Stampin' Positioning tool. Mine just came. I did make one card using it. Haven't used it enough to make a full opinion yet. The reason why I went ahead and got it was because they're like, well, you could use it with 12 by 12. So we have these two little things. So maybe next week or the week after or something, I'll use it with a card. We had the Stamparatus. It had to go away. Legal things. So, I mean, it seems pretty nice. And there's little grid sheet papers that you can order to go with it as well. Let's see, there's people here. Hello, Linda. Hello, Mom. Gus, I've told you like 3 times to get off of there, and he just keeps going back up. I quit. I give up. He's just going to be up there. I have non-Stampin' Up ribbon on the wall. He's probably going to pull it down. He's gonna make a mess, and that's what we are going to do. So let's get started on project tonight. So we will shift just like that. So, both products, the sentiments are from the Fabulous Sayings, which is the January product of the month. Even though it's February, this is still available. It is while supplies last. So with your $75 order, you could add this stamp set to your order for $5. It is one product number per account. So if you have been watching from the beginning, I talked how I just ordered the February product of the month just today. I would not have been able to choose this because I've already redeemed for this product. So one product per account. Now, if you have not had any product of the month and you place a $75 order, you could pick this one, and you could place another $75 order and pick one of the designer series papers. If you do, what's 75 and 75? $150 order is only going to get you one product of the month. 1 minute, please. I said I was just going to let him play with the ribbon, and I didn't think he was really going to play with the ribbon. And I looked over, and he's playing with the ribbon because that's what he does. So I've been using this since I've had it throughout the month. I like it's kind of a good font. I'm also using, actually on both products, an image from the gallery Blooms. I'm using this floral image here. This stamp set is actually in the annual catalog and does have some dies and is actually part of a mega suite, but I'm using this floral image. So kind of mixing and matching some, new, kind of old. And the designer series paper that I'm using is called Lovely Blossoms. And I believe that came out in the mini catalog. I don't think it was an online. I do think it was a mini release. And look how I just love this. This is Petal Pink with Secret Sea, which is like our not quite our faded jean, our faded black blue. And then it's kind of got the let me make sure, the cloud cover in the veins and the ribbon. This ribbon is amazing. Pick a spool of this up. Do yourself a favor. This is the 5/8 inch cloud cover ribbon. And it has like the sheen, not quite really a sparkle. I would say it has a nice sheen to it. It's just a lovely, lovely ribbon. This is 20 inches right here if you're curious, in case I don't get any of these dimensions off to you. I have 2 pieces of the DSP. These are from the same pack, the Lovely Blossom. So notice how we have florals on this side, and we have some kind of geometric, more, generic-y, maybe more masculine on the second side. I love this paper pack for that. So we have kind of for the girlies, maybe for the guys, or like good, like these two look great together, or these two look great together, right? Like they really complement each other nicely. And the pack where we have these more patterns on the back helps us stretch our pack of paper for those who are maybe a little bit more budget conscious. Let's see, I have a piece of white cardstock. This is let me make sure, 1 inch by 4 1/4. And I use, already is pre-punched with the Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. Okay, this has been around for a little bit. You can find it on, if you don't see it in a catalog, it will be online. The Last Chance refresh today, I don't think that was in there. I might have cried if it was. There's a couple things I had to shed a little tear for every time we get some new products that retire. I have to cry a little, but it just means more great new stuff is coming. This is a piece of thick white, and this isn't a very big piece. This is 3 by 4 1/4. Here's the star of the show, really. This is vellum. If you did not know, we have vellum back. We got that at the end of last year, and it's thicker than the vellum we had before. They come in 12 by 12 sheets, which allows us to do the project that we're doing today. Now, this is a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 10 inches, and then it's scored at 5 inches. And then my secret C is 1/4 piece of cardstock. This is not a base. This is 1/4 of our sheet of cardstock. So it is 5.5 by 4.25. We need to use tear and tape today. That is my recommended adhesive for vellum because it sticks down without making a mess and I'm not worried about it. So first up, I'm going to take a couple pieces of tear and tape. I'm going to keep them more towards the middle. We are going to be covering all these pieces up, but this is going to go down and this will cover. And I should have stamped first, but you know what? This helps eliminate some pieces of paper, so that's what I'm going to go with. We're going to just center that there. If you have problems getting your tear and tape up, just do what I did. Make sure, use that bone folder to press it down before you peel the backing up. And going with my theme of getting rid of these pieces before I lose them all, we're going to adhere the floral DSP to the front. I just love that I love that pattern. I never would have thought to put petal pink with the Secret C, the really dark blue. It's just not anything I would have thought of. Which I guess is why Stampin' Up! Has really good artists to think of all of that stuff for us and to get our beautiful coordination. I'm using the scissors. I do have my Take Your Pick tool. So I actually prefer using that. Scissors are my last resort. And then we're going to decide which way I want it. And we're going to center. There we go. Oh, look, gross. I can see that. That's why we have this piece of paper. And in case I didn't let you know, these are 5.5. Nope. These are 4.5 by 3.25 pieces. So we're going to adhere this to cover. So you're going to have this beautiful way to show off 2 pieces of DSP. And then we will do some stamping. And again, I'm using the tear and tape because that I think is great for the vellum. I would use a good strong adhesive. I don't use my regular adhesive on vellum. I just don't trust it, but I do trust tear and tape for this. So that's... And so I just have it here, which only having it in those spots and nothing down here kind of allows me to line up the bottom to try to match it as best as I can. And I'm going to put that bone folder over there just to make sure it gets real good adhesion. So we're going to set this off to the side. We will come back to her. And we're going to stamp our sentiment. We are making this a birthday card because we are just getting ready for some birthday celebrations. And I am stamping this with the Secret C ink, so it's going to coordinate with the base, the 4th piece of cardstock. Beautiful. And am I done with this? Yes, I am. We'll set this off to the side. I'm coming in with my crumb cake. We're going to stamp our floral image. Now, something that's a little strange or different about this floral image is there is like a right side and a wrong side. So I don't know if you can, it definitely can look upside down. So I have to put it in the top corner. My instinct says to always stamp these in the bottom right or left corner, but then it looks upside down. So it's at the top. So this is the inside of our card where we're going to write, hope you have a great day, love, Anne Marie. I mean, it looks quite lovely stamped like that, but we're just going to do some basic coloring in with our blends, and I did select the colors based off of the DSP pack, and I'll come down a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. So apologize if I give you a little motion sickness. I only have 3 blends. I have the dark cloud cover, which I'm going to use as just for the center. And this kind of comes through in the veins of the leaves on the DSP, so I'll just kind of show you. So this is kind of cloud cover in there. Are we like terribly out of focus? I know when I move it up and down, we always need to remember to focus. And then I have the light old olive. So I'm not doing any blending because these are alcohol markers. I'm literally just using them to color in the image. Doesn't need to be perfect. So these are alcohol markers, which means we can use our water-based ink, such as crumb cake, to color with our blends without fear of smearing. And what's lovely about stamping this image with the crumb cake and then coloring it in, it really softens the look. Because if I would have stamped in black, like we tend to kind of do, I think, when we think about coloring an image, we're like, oh, we need to color it in black. But the crumb cake really helps to soften the image. Looks like my marker took some abuse yesterday or Sunday. That is the price of being a demonstrator. My tip's a little wonky. Somebody got a little too excited with it. That's okay. I made it work. I didn't use my bullet tip because sometimes with these light markers, you don't get much color, so you can see the difference. Like the alcohol's coming. I don't know why that happens, but it seems to happen with the light, these really light colored ones that I've noticed than anything. So that's all the coloring we're doing, just to add a little something, and then we'll raise back up. And we'll refocus in case. We'll finish assembling our card. So this, see, go on the inside here, and again we're going to do tear and tape. Press all of that down. Beautiful. All right, so our last couple of steps here. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I had my bling. I'm using some rhinestones here. We're going to put this ribbon behind here on the sentiment. Now, because of the material of this ribbon, I don't know if it's because it's the sheen or whatever is on the ribbon, I'm placing the piece of tear and tape down on my sentiment. And I'm going to hold it in my hand. And that's going to hold the ribbon there. Oh my gosh, I did it great the first time. Now, why I do this is because if I was off, this wheel, it'll peel back up. So if you are doing this, it works with this ribbon. It'll probably work on most of them. Just test a little bit first to see if it will peel back up. I do think I'm just going to cut a little bit off here. Then what I'm going to come back and do is take a piece of tear and tape to hold that down, and I'm not going to peel the back off. Now I am going to use dimensionals to adhere this to the card front. Uh-oh, here comes the fat kitten. And I don't want them too close to the edge because this is going to kind of go end to end, and we are working with vellum. So then when we lift it up, haha, you don't see any dimensional. So I did that pretty good. And then I'm going to add just some basic rhinestones. Could color them if you wanted. I just think it's so pretty on its own that just adding the little bit of sparkle on there, I think, does the job. I'll do one more. I've been starting to put a lot more, like, I used to always just do like 3. I don't know, I'm kind of on a kick of using more than that. And so there we end with this beautiful birthday card. Okay. And here's this one. I have the... So on this one, my little ribbons are a little shorter. So this one, I kind of thought when I was putting the bling on there, I was like, I don't have a lot of room at the bottom, but you know, they're the same but different. Would be great for about anything. The trick is just this, I don't know, there's something about using the vellum as kind of the quasi card base. You know, I wouldn't be too, you know, don't be worried. It's on there. It's not coming off. It would still stand up. It just leans forward a little bit. So we've made this beautiful birthday card, and the gal in the office or the nail tech or your mother or somebody, your sister, it's her birthday. And you're going to give her a birthday card, and she's like, don't buy me anything. How often does that work out? So you feel like, oh, I didn't even stamp the envelope. Let's just do that real quick while we're discussing. And we go, don't buy me anything. But you're like, but I make a card. And, you know, she always will pick up a coffee for me sometimes. I should do a little something. Let's see. How do I want to do this? There we go. Little stamp on the envelope. Yeah, that workshop I did, the Stampinup card making retreats, got me into the envelope mode again. Well, what we can do is we can make a little treat holder to go with it, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So what do you need? You need a piece of 6x6 DSP. This actually comes from a 12x12 pack, so you can, what's great about 12x12 is it'll cut down to 6x6 pretty easily. So the first thing you want to do is decide if you want what you want to be on the outside. I want this floral here to be on the outside. So I'm going to turn it over. And it is directional. It's going to end up upside down some, but you know what? We're going to get over that, right? It is best to do a non-directional one. I didn't realize this was that. So we're going to turn it the opposite, put it on our scoreboard the opposite way that we want it to look. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our scoreboard to fold this into a triangle. So you can just butt that corner in there and take your finger, do this, and then come back with your... I want to do it over here on the table. And varnish. So now we kind of have like this handkerchief situation going on. And we're going to butt the corner up top here. We're going to do 2 scores here, and I want to make sure that I say them correctly. 2 3/4. And I'm going to go down a couple of times. because I'm scoring through 2, and 5 3/4. Now if you wanted, if your scores didn't come around too well, you could flip it over and just score over the top, because that 2 3/4 is also the 5 3/4. Not in that case, goodness. I must have picked the wrong one. I'm a professional. Okay, so we've done 2 3/4, 5 3/4. Now we're going to turn her this way. And we're going to score at 3/8. So if you're using the scoreboard, this would be very difficult to do on your trimmer because it's very hard to score 3/8 on a trimmer, but you can on your scoreboard. If you have the Stampin' Up! One or one that looks like this, if you don't know what 3/8 is, it's actually the third tick mark from the left, because this is 1/8, 2/8, which is also known as 1/4, and then 3/8. So it's kind of weird because we start at this angle here, but we come down, and once you get started with it, it does become easier. And again, we're scoring through 2 layers, and then that is it. So we were this way and we scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 3/4. We rotate, score at 3/8. So when we open it up, it will not look quite like this because I scored the other side and I shouldn't have, but it's fine. So we're going to fold this in, so then it looks like this. And then you see here, now we have the 3 scores. We're going to fold it in half. And again, we want to varnish everything as we go. So now we have this house shape. And then where this little mark is, we're going to fold it back. And then fold this one back. And we have some upside down flowers, but you know what? It's not that bad. And then we end up with this. So before we do anything else, I'm going to unfold it and use some tear and tape just to hold some things down a little bit. I'm going to just put a little bit down here. Again, I want to use my bone folder, make sure it's going to stay. And I'm at the end, yeah, I'm at the end of these little tear and tapes. I end up with all these like little partial, because you get some with paper pumpkins, so I have these, all these little partial tear and tapes running around, so I'm always trying to use them up. Okay, so then we're this, this. So I'm going to use this little punch, use a hole punch. These were available at one time. I don't think they are anymore. It was a little trio pack. They're going to be my friends probably forever because I love these little punches. But just a regular hole punch is going to work just fine for you. I have some ribbons here. I have like a, what is this? A basic beige. This is 10 inches. And then this ribbon here is 12 inches. And this is a newer ribbon. It was in my ribbon share. This is the Old Olive Specialty Rick Rack. It is so soft. I think it's with the little bug suite in the mini catalog. It is lovely. So I'm going to decide that this is my front here. Well, no, I'm going to decide this is my front because I'm going to have this little label over the top, and then you won't really notice that the flowers are upside down. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to thread it through. I'm going to do a little tie. And you could do this however you want. You know, use some linen thread, use some baker's twine. However you want to do this. I'm going to tie a little bow. This ribbon's kind of funny because it wants to really kind of curl, which kind of makes it fun on the package actually. I'm going to keep those the little curls. I might make my loops a little smaller. I'm going to keep the curls. And then I'm going to come through with this little basic beige. So we're just doing a little double ribbon action to make it kind of fun. I'm going to go from the back. So I do find it's easier to do the bow first and then do the little loopy loop here. And you could make that shorter if you wanted, whatever your preference is. And there's the basis of that. So after you make this, then you're going to come with, you want to make a little label or something for it. I'm using one of my favorites here, the hexagon punch, and then I have this little banner from the 3 banner punch, which is a newer punch where you get 3. I'm going to show it because I think this one needs to be in your collection. If you're a punch fan, you need to get this. It is bundled with a stamp set, but you don't need to buy it with a stamp set if you don't want to. It does have great sentiments, but this is a great little punch. But you could use a die cut, you could do a rectangle, you could cut a rectangle, you wouldn't have to necessarily punch something. Alright, I have my old olive ink, and and I have a sentiment. I have the Hooray sentiment. Again, that is from the Fabulous Sayings. I thought that went with the happy birthday pretty well and would fit on my cute little banner. So just to add a little texture here in the back, a little tone on tone, just to give something, and we'll stamp the Hooray here in the middle. Now this would be great. You could do a punch out of a glimmer paper or some kind of fun, shiny specialty, something that you have. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Since I have the tear and tape here, I'm just going to grab a little piece of it. You could use Tombow or something else. But it's thin enough. And then this is going to go here. So I'm just going to put a little tear and tape at the bottom. I wouldn't do liquid glue for this situation because you don't want to like have too much and it glue your stuff together. And then this also kind of will help hold things in a little bit. Now you could repeat and do something on the back, but I kind of want to see, you know, on this I might put a little bit more tear and tape. You know what, a glue dot. My other one didn't do that. I must have used more tear and tape. Use your take your pick tool. Add a glue dot to the situation. How's this one? This one feels pretty good. Okay. So then you're going to stuff them full of goodies. So what's so cool about this is that it is double-sided, so it's like twice the gifting. So I'm going to disassemble what I have in this one. And you can leave a comment about what you would put in your little box here. So I have a tea. And because I had the tea, I had to find, my husband helped me find the individual honey sticks. So if you're in Topeka, we did find these at Hy-Vee. It wasn't like, you know, they're not the cheapest thing, but they're for a gift. So, and it was like last minute, like, I need these. And then we can put in some of the Andes mints. The Ghirardelli square fits perfectly. We've got a milk chocolate sea salt. And then I have a couple little lifesavers to add in the front or the back. And this one actually does stand up, which is quite lovely. So wouldn't this be fun to place on your coworker's desk, or to, you know, you have this, what, we'd have it in the envelope. Let's do like the whole thing. All right, so we have our card here and we have whatever. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Or, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Here. Have a nice cup of tea with honey. I can have some chocolates and a little hard candy with it. So the honey stick is a little interesting, but if you put it in diagonal, it does kind of stay in there fairly well. So cute little birthday gift. So this made me think about a little valentine. We could do it for Valentine, and maybe you just put, you know, maybe you just Ghirardelli the front and the back. Or you, for coworkers, or you do a you know, you could make it less. It could just be the tea and honey and a Ghirardelli. And you just say, you know, little happy Valentine message. Think about for Easter. I did not make an Easter one. I do have that Easter paper. But I think Easter also for maybe at your lunch table, your Easter Sunday table, that you could have one of these at each plate, maybe with the Andes mints to finish things up, with maybe some other like after dinner mints or chocolates. Could be quite fun. So I hope that you, oh, and here's this one. I stole all this stuff. I have more stuff, it's just upstairs. So I hope that you consider making these little treat holders. Again, 6x6 paper, fold on the diagonal. You have the handkerchief, so we have it as a triangle, and we score it at 2 3/4, 5 3/4. Rotate for the edge to be along the left, and score at 3/8. And then you're just gonna fold up, and you're gonna be good to go. So I hope that you like this. I am kind of really digging how this, look at the little tails are just curling on here. It's so cute. Even if this was just knotted, it would be pretty cute on there. But you can see I've got like a thinner bow. We have a petal pink bow. So that's fun. So I did get my new stamp tool, which if you sign up this month as a demonstrator, you get this for free. When it will be available to the general public, I do not know. I have no idea. I assume it will be. But this fully comes off. The magnets can actually touch each other. I like the little tabbies on here. And then the paper just pokes onto these, and you would put your stamp on and you press down. Or if you wanted to do a stair step, because you could also turn it this way. Again, I just have made one card, and then you could move it down, and that's what I did to make this card. And I used the Sending Love sentiment from the Fabulous Saints to kind of make a little Valentine card, maybe to go with my little Valentine treat here. So I did the Flirty Flamingo, and then I did the Real Red, and I used my scissors on the edges. I have a little texture stamp in the back, and then I used my Stampin' Blend to flick pink and red on the front. And this little heart stamp is from With You in My Mind. There's this little heart here. Kind of a fun, it looks like it's a hand-drawn heart. Added the little bow, added the little heart bling. I don't know if these are still available, but they're in my stash, so I put them on there. And so I did kind of the old stair step deal where I was like, and I had the magnets holding it down. I went boop, and then I moved it, re-inked it, boop, boop. Well, I skipped one, and then I cleaned it, and then came back and did the red. And this, I tied 2 ribbons as a knot to get, that's held down with a glue dot. So I just tied 2 as a little knot on the bow. And then there's the little heart. That I did by hand, because I had to rotate the heart. So that's kind of the my quick... Oh, see, these things move down. I don't know how this thing works. I managed to do that. I kind of like how this turned out, actually. So again, free with your starter kit. It is a $49 value, I believe is what the price is. It does not come with the little grid sheets, but you can order those separate. You could add them to your demonstrator kit. And if you're a customer, you're just going to have to wait for it to be available. It would work with 12 by... Probably not with this plate. I don't know. I got it because they said I could do it with a 12 by 12 sheet. I'm not convinced yet. But that's on my list to try out. But, you know, if you have the Stamparatus and you're happy with it, then be happy with your Stamparatus. But if you don't have a stamp position tool, maybe you put this on your wish list for when it does become available. Or better yet, sign up to become a demonstrator for $99. Get $125 in product that you choose, plus this month. Great deal. All right. How did I do on time? 7:10. Look at me. 7:10. Wow. Okay. What did I miss? Pretty card. Thank you. Oh, Linda's bringing salad and dessert apparently to church tomorrow, so that's awesome. Okay. I'm glad that you were here. If you're still around and you have not liked this video yet, please take a moment and like the video. Make sure you are subscribed so you can get notified. You can hit the little bell so you get notification when I'm going to go live. I know on my phone I get a notification at 6 o'clock that I'll be live at 6:30. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. I'm like, oh, glad to know that I will be live in 30 minutes. I haven't forgotten yet. Though, if you ask the cats, they wanted me to fall asleep with them on the sofa after work. I was surrounded. I was like, I gotta get up, children. Gotta get up. So, will I be on next week? Yes, I will be on next week. We'll do something. And it'll be great. If there's anything you'd like to see, reach out to me, leave a comment. And we'll just go from there. Valentine's is coming up, so get some Valentine cards. You know, color is everything. You can just use colors to make a Valentine card. You know, just the word love or hello. Even this same thing as hello in pink and red, and it's with a little heart stamp. It's a Valentine. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So make sure, again, redeem your bonus day coupons. You can start doing that today. Don't forget about checking out the product of the month if you're at that $75 order. And the last chance was updated, so that is always great deals. Make sure if you are looking at a bundle, if you see a bundle in the last chance, find the products separately, because often the products are discounted separately, and that's actually cheaper than the bundle. So sometimes they do that, so just shop smart. Okay, shop smart. That's my advice. So thank you all for being here. We'll see you next Tuesday, and as always, we'll see you around. And less than $1, we can send a card. We were just talking. It was talking about at a church. People don't send cards because of the cost. It's less than $1. Postage to mail a card is still less than $1. This is me putting my stamps away because I'm a responsible stamper. At least today I am. So less than $1. Less than $1. You can make somebody's day. I actually got a card in the mail today from somebody in my accountability group, and it is the cutest card. I'm not going to share it because I'm going to case it because I really like it. I'm like, oh, I have this stamp set. I'm going to make this similar card on a video, or maybe for Stamp Club, actually. Might be a Stamp Club card. It's really cute. I really like it. So it was great that I got a card today. It was just like a hello card, which was amazing. So send somebody a card. Make their day. We'll see you around. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment. Bye, everybody.